Guys, okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about a stylized 2 unit as well as your final paperwork. So your final paperwork is the design, your play analysis, your character analysis, and then your final design sheets and rendering, okay? So play analysis, character analysis are explained on the new schedule. Just go back and read it. If you guys have questions, you can email me. I think your final character approval is coming up here shortly, so be thinking about what you guys want to do. It is on the schedule which day it is actually due, so go ahead and look at that. And also think about a character that is actually like, you know, character, right? So you're not looking for the pretty ingenue that's just going to be pretty whatever makeup, right? You want someone like a Tim Burton character, or a sometimes Shakespeare, depending on the play, like a Harry Potter character, who else? Like, you know, just like really character heavy things. People that are going to have a lot going on with them because they've had a lot happen in their lives, or they're very eccentric, or whatever it is, okay? So just make sure it's somebody like that that's going to kind of challenge you, because you guys will have to justify, as part of your final paperwork, I'm going to have a sheet that looks something like this. One second. Okay, it's gonna look something like this. I'm gonna have this up on Canvas that you guys can fill out as part of your design sheets paperwork, okay? And it basically goes through like the name of your character, techniques used, and then it's going to go through each unit that we did, and you're going to have to say exactly what from each unit you're going to use for your character makeup, okay? And remember, I've said this a million times in the notes, but so you know, we are not doing a final character makeup, okay? If you want to do some for extra credit, maybe you're doing like a really cool eye design or something, and you want to just do that and not your full makeup look because you can't without all the class supplies, that's fine. Go for it. And then submit that to me for extra credit. But all that's going to be required is that character breakdown, play breakdown, and then the design sheets, rendering, and that breakdown list, okay? So for your particular final for the design sheets, we've gone over this quite a bit. You guys have done design sheets all semester, but for stylized 2 and for the final, it is going to be a little bit of a different ballgame. So for stylized 2, I've kind of hinted at what it was throughout the semester, but I can't really like keep it a secret. Normally we keep it a secret till day of, and then we mix them up and hand them out, but due to coronavirus, I can no longer do that in online school. So what's going to happen is you're going to have all of your design sheets. You are going to design something, okay? So it can be whatever you want. It's a stylized look. You guys know stylized. We've talked about it, right? It is something that is kind of like high art or fashion, or kind of just whatever you want to make up. Geometric, some cool eye thing. I don't care, right? It's just stylized makeup. Look up something. And you're basically going to be creating design sheets, design rendering, design sheets, instructions, all of that you are going to submit to me. I'm going to randomize them and send it back out. Make sure that you do not put your names on these, please, okay? Because they're going out anonymously, so everyone in the class is going to receive one. They don't know whose it is, but they're going to give their honest feedback. So if they get one and they're reading it and they're like, okay, well, instruction number 3 is not clear, or the way you colored in the lips doesn't make sense to me, okay? So you're just going to be doing some honest, helpful feedback. There's a breakdown for exactly what you need to write about on the new schedule, okay? So that is what you're going to be doing, is a breakdown, basically. So, and it needs to be as thorough as possible, and what I talk about right now, because people will be observing it, will be telling you, giving you feedback, and it is something that you will be doing on the final as well. So you really need to make sure that you can figure out how to do this so that you can make your final as best as it can possibly be. Because I will be grading those breakdowns as well as your design sheets a little bit harder with a little bit more points involved for those 3 things, because we're not doing that final makeup for the extra points. I've got to include those in the other ones, and I'm just going to be looking more closely at it because you guys don't have to do quite as much work for your final in this class as you normally would, right? So I want to just make sure you're still taking it seriously, you're still putting the work into it. So let's go over it again. I know we've talked about it a lot, but I want to go over it a little bit more with you guys. So this is a rendering. A rendering is like the work of art for your design. It is pretty much like a painting on a wall. This is what it is. This is what would be included in like a playbill or in a magazine or in a book. Okay, if they're writing about the designer on this show, da 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 da, here's their design. That's going to be the rendering they're showing. They're not showing the design sheets. A design rendering is for the design team as well as the director, okay? Because they do not care how you're going to accomplish the design, right? They don't care what steps you apply the eyeshadow in. They don't care what colors you're using. Well, they do. They don't care what brands and stuff you're using, okay? They don't care about any of that. They just want to see, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm okay with that. That looks cool, okay? That's all they care about. They just want to see what it looks like. That's another reason why we try to get you guys in the habit of doing it on your own face, because you will try to do all the actors' faces as well that you do. So you'll take a picture, outline their face, do all of that, and put their design on them, because it's so much easier for a director to visualize a character when it is on the actor's face, and they can approve of a design much easier that way. Because if it's on a stock sheet, something like, okay, like this is a stock sheet, right? It's just a generic face with generic construction marks. This is a lot harder for someone to visualize what it's gonna look like, right? Because clearly this looks nothing like me, right? So if I put a bunch of makeup on this, the director will be like, okay, well, yeah, that looks okay. And then I put it on an actor and they're like, whoa, 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 we don't like this. Like, this looks really bad, right? So that's why we get you in the habit of doing it on the person's face. So that's kind of what your design rendering does. So here's an example of a rendering. I've showed you guys several. This is one I did over the weekend, okay? So it's got character name, show name. Typically for rendering, you're going to put your initials as well, just because it is kind of like a work of art, and you want it just to be signed and like very relatable that it is your work, right? It's going to show the full design: hair, eyes, lips, skin, contour, highlight, everything, okay? Everything you want incorporated is going to be on this. And I drew this on a person's face, so it is going to be for that person. The director's looking at this and he's seeing the actress in the makeup, right? He's not seeing a stock sheet. So that is the purpose of these. You don't have to do like your show name, character name like that. That's just how I personally do it. You can do show name, character name. You can do character name, show name, okay? I don't care where on the page you put it. This is just good habits to get into, because this is what they look like professionally in the industry. Other examples of renderings, you guys have seen a lot of mine. I've been trying to find a few from other people. Here's one from another person. They did this. It's really complicated, so they probably didn't put quite enough effort into this for an actual rendering artwork piece, but it's part of it. Here's another one of mine. Okay, this is a digital one. This one is done in colored pencils, okay? Colored pencils. This was another digital one, okay? So they're all kind of different. This one I think is a colored pencil. So this is just another person did. Front side view is great. I would encourage that you do a front and a side view. So I like to do a full page of someone's face. So I would just do this and then do one other page and just do a side view for your renderings, because that's going to help show the full thing. Because obviously with this one, there's a whole lot more going on with the hair than just this shows, right? So you want to make sure that you're giving the director and the design team the full picture. The other part of the paperwork that you do past the rendering is the design sheets. They're also called maps or charts. This is what you've been doing all semester, right? So maps, charts, all incorporated into design sheets, okay? So you guys have been doing one similar-ish to this, where it's just your face on here, and then it's like your instructions with the little side view on the back. That's fine. You can fill out one of those for one of your design sheets. But you need to make sure that it's quality coloring, okay? So here's an example of just one that was done, okay? Like, it doesn't take the most skill in the world, right, to draw out these things. But they still did it cleanly, neatly, in the correct color, right? So please make sure that you do that. Also, you guys have been getting used to doing just that front and back piece of paper with the instructions. Get ready to do multiple sheets of paper, okay? So for this one, this is the rendering again. This isn't the design sheets, but you can include this with all of your paperwork for to give to an actor per se, but it's not technically a design sheet. This is a rendering. So for this one, they have it clearly drawn out, all the colors incorporated, all the designs incorporated, the hairs incorporated, everything, right? And then this is one of their design sheets, okay? So they've got this going on, showing a bunch of different things. They have it kind of lightly outlined in pencil where like highlights and shadows go, which is a really great thing to do so that the actor knows where to put things. But also be very careful, because people will start to do that and they start to like outline here and there, and then they kind of have this going on, right, where it's not the same spot on both sides, and that's just from looking at the thing too long. So if you're not sure, you're sick of looking at it, give it to a friend, a roommate, a family member. Just be like, hey, does this all look symmetrical to you? Is there anything I need to change? Are they in the wrong spots? Because I just can't look at it anymore, right? Please do that. That's a great way to do it. Peer advice is great. Another thing that this person did is they have the eye drawn out, right? So it's a little bit bigger so that the person can see what it is they're trying to do. Because obviously something like this, someone's just going to look like, well, the eyes just look purple to me, so I guess I just put purple all over, right? You need to do something a little bit more zoomed in. Here's another example, okay? Obviously, you don't need to do all four of these, but just like a big, look, this is what it's supposed to look like, guys, and then you can break down the products on that. You should also have instructions listed out like this. If you want to type them up, that's fine. If you want to have them just on separate sheets of paper from your designs, that's fine. This person, they just labeled them 1 through 15. They don't have it labeled over here, but I kind of like to do all these little extra notes and then put like step 1, step 2, step 3, just to kind of show what to do, okay? Other things about design sheets. I feel like that's pretty much it. Keep in mind, when you are doing a design sheet, you have to keep in mind how the person looks underneath, which is why I have you guys do it on your face, right? Because here's another rendering. It's not a great example, but here's one someone did. Okay, they just have these eyebrows painted on. If you give this to someone and just say, like, color the brows in this color, the actor doesn't know if you want them to fill in their own brows or if you want them to block out their eyebrows and put new ones on, okay? So it's a good thing to even just have a blank sheet of your face and just say, this is the neutral thing, and maybe outline, like, just do like a little note off to the side and be like, Eyebrows will change, block them out. Lips, make them smaller, or like line them on the inside to make them look smaller on this particular actress. Okay, so make little notes just on a blank one of your face. Okay, doesn't have to have anything on it. That will just be one of the papers in your design sheets. So just to recap your design renderings, you can do it like this if you want. I would prefer you do it on 2 separate pieces of paper. So it'll be like this one, and then another one that's side view. So 1 to 2 pages with the character name and show is all you need for the rendering. For the design sheets, you need to have, they're your makeup maps and charts. So you need to have instructions. You need to have maybe a small, like a zoom up of your lips, eyes, cheek, wherever it is on your face. It's going to be an intricate detail. You need to have like a little like zoomed in portion on one of your sheets to show that, like this. Also your hair, you're rendering, you're showing a front and side view, but maybe you need to show more. You should have multiple angles of your hair design, okay? And make sure, like this one, they have the faces and everything drawn out. You don't have to do that. Just draw a head, like just a circle, an oval, and then draw the hair on top of it. That's all you need to do. The designer, makeup crew, and actor only really need to see what they're supposed to do. It doesn't matter if there's a head on everything, or if you have multiple, where's that one go? So if you have something like this and you need to have multiple sheets with maybe like zoomed in portion of like right here, right here, right here, just like blown up so that the person can see, that's fine. It doesn't need to be a full completed thing like this is. That is what the rendering is for, okay? The actor is still going to be able to see this and be like, okay, well, this is what the final thing's supposed to look like, but I need a step-by-step, right? I need certain things like blown up and maybe broken down. The whole thing doesn't have to be colored. I had another example of it. Where did it go? Oh yeah, so for this one, okay, so they did a pretty good job. They had, this was their instruction sheet, and they had 2 faces kind of out showing the different shapes and everything. This is great, but I would feel like they need a whole lot more because of how intricate this is, right? So they maybe need to show close-up of the eye, close-up of the lips, maybe more of the hair, because they don't really show a lot of the hair in this. What does the back look like, right? They maybe need to show more side views or angle views, because this is very geometric, right? So just, like, don't be afraid to have multiple more pages than this. Maybe even 2 to 3 more. That's totally fine, okay? I'd rather you have way too much than not enough, because there's nothing worse than, and you guys might find this on Stylized 2 Day, when someone comes in and they just give you something like this, no instructions, just there it is, and you're left just staring at this thinking, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can see I'm supposed to be doing like stripes and maybe messy hair and stuff, but it doesn't really list out products. It has no product names. It doesn't show you what the actor looks like before this, so that you know if you're supposed to block out your eyebrows or change your lip shape or whatever. You don't know, because there's no instructions with this. And you're kind of just stuck, left there, just wondering, what am I supposed to do, right? So that's why your design sheets, maps or charts, should be extremely detailed and show everything that needs to be done, even more so than this, right? Multiple angles of the hair, multiple angles of the face, close-ups of eyes, lips, wherever you need to go, all of that you should be doing. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, you can reach out to me, contact me. Hopefully this is a bit more clear about what to do for the design sheets for the final. It's kind of what you guys have been doing, just a whole lot more extreme and a lot more detailed. and it's going to be the same thing for Stylize 2. Think of Stylize 2 as your practice run, and then, yeah, you can do your final sheets. I think Stylize 2 is due, I think the second to last class, which is going to be right about when your final is due. So if you guys are wanting to do your Stylize 2 one early and kind of send it to me and want feedback on it, I can totally do that and just be like, look, you need to add this, this, and this. And then you will get your peer feedback as well those days. Yeah, I think that's everything. Just make sure you guys reach out to me if you need to. Oh, here's one other good thing to do. Is I don't know how well you guys can see it on here, but this particular eye, they kind of have like a little dot to dot thing going on and sectioned out like where the eyeshadow colors are supposed to go. So that's a good thing to do. More than just doing like a zoomed in of the eye and showing this is where it is, because sometimes it's good to know like where the eyeshadow should stop and start blending into the next color, right? So yeah, just think of your design rendering as your work of art, something that will go in a magazine or in some sort of piece about the show. That's what it's going to go in. Your design sheets are the instructions. They're the blueprints. They are showing, here's how you accomplish it. Here is how you apply it. Okay. Remember to be specific with your products, the brands. I know you guys have very limited stuff in your kit. So if you're wanting to maybe find a specific lip color that you really want, go onto a makeup's website, like go on to MAC Cosmetics or go to Ulta or Sephora. Find the shade you want, find the product, and then click it and write down the name and shade of it, okay? And click and put that on your design sheet, okay? Because you guys aren't actually realizing these, so you can kind of play with that a little bit. And then you can, again, do parts of your makeup or your full makeup for extra credit at the end. Remember, for extra credit, you can only earn up to 80 points. So lab hours every hour over the 35 is worth 5 points. If you did like a little final portfolio, just do a, scan it all in and send that to me. That's worth, I think it's 10 to 20 points. There's a few other things for extra credit as well that you guys can look at online and ask me about. But yeah, just email me if you have any questions. Okay, thanks guys.